Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Courtney and today's video is all about my new moon rituals. I thought this would be a good continuation of my moon rituals that I discussed in my full moon ritual video from a few months ago. I kind of wanted to give you guys a good, full perspective on how I work with the moon. I am really big on working with the moon phases to enhance my manifestations and really just to help me feel super aligned with the current cosmic energy. For me, I tend to take a more serious approach with my new moon rituals rather than my full moon rituals, and I'll get to why in this video. But there's just something about that new moon energy that just gets me so amped up. I'm super excited to share with you guys my new moon rituals, how I go about my manifestation practices, and also share with you guys some of my favorite spirituality tools that help aid me in tapping into that new moon magic. You ready? So if you watched my full moon rituals video, I really start off that video talking about the why. Why do we celebrate the lunar phases? Why do we celebrate the full moon? And really the full moon holds so much power in self-reflection, releasing and, embodiment, whereas the new moon is all about new cycles, beginning or ending, bringing us this fresh energy and a clean slate. When I first started getting into the lunar cycles, I had no idea about the manifestation element that the moon brings to us depending on what moon phase it's in. How we go about manifesting with the moon, kind of the beginning of that cycle, it all starts with the new moon. The new moon is when the moon is completely dark. The reason why is because the sun and the moon are in the same position or degree in the sky. The moon is unable to receive the sun's light, and therefore we cannot see it in the sky. The dark night invites us to go inward. Even though we cannot see the moon, we can still feel those vibrations that are powerfully amplified by the sun. Anytime two celestial bodies meet in the sky, they boost each other's energy and increasing each of their frequencies. This combination gives us a greater opportunity to manifest our reality. So really the main element and theme of a new moon is dreaming up and visualizing the person you want to become. What are the goals and intentions that you need to set? What seeds do you need to plant in this manifestation? This is honestly the best night to manifest, and that is why I take my new moon rituals so seriously. Whereas the full moon significance is all about, self-reflection in the light of the moon, really letting go of what doesn't serve us in becoming, the version that we dreamt up of on the new moon. And then heading into the next new moon, we do this cycle all over again. It's like this big, beautiful, wheel. Alrighty, so now that we have a good understanding of what the new moon is all about, I'm gonna now jump into my new moon rituals. And this is like a process. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about what my pre-new moon rituals are, the day of rituals, and my post-new moon rituals. And this new moon energy is super potent, so it's definitely something that you can ease into and ease out of. So I'm going to be talking about how I go about doing my practices. As a disclaimer, these rituals work really well for me and I get so much joy out of doing them, and they may not align with what you want to do or something that you feel works for you, and that's totally okay. When we go about doing, finding out what rituals we like, we really need to use our discernment and figure out what feels right for us. So I just wanted to put that out there that some of these may align with you and some of them may not, and that's okay. So leading up to the new moon, this energy is really starting to ramp up. You can feel the energy 3 days before lunation and 3 days post lunation. So for me, the day before the new moon is when I like to take time to really clean my apartment. I like to do a really big, deep clean of my apartment the day before. So things that I don't normally clean, that often, for example, like my ceiling fans or kind of like the baseboard, things that you don't really think about cleaning every time you like clean your home. I like to do a super duper like deep clean. I love cleaning the bathroom before the new moon. It just feels good to kind of get everything like in order and feeling really fresh and clean. Once I feel like everything, feels really good, that feeling when you walk in somewhere and it's like a fresh, clean feeling. Like I have to have my apartment feel like that. So once that's like feeling spotless, then I'll go ahead and start cleansing my apartment. And I like to do 2 different cleansing methods. So the first thing I like to do is I'll grab my singing bowl and I'll go in each room and I'll just play it for about a minute in each room. And what this does is it really breaks up the stagnant energy like in my apartment, and I feel good while I play it too, I'm not gonna lie. It feels really good just playing my singing bowl and walking around my apartment to just break up all that stale energy. So after I'm done doing my singing bowl, I'll go ahead and transition over to a smoke cleanse. And my go-to for any kind of smudging tools is Mama Wunderbar. I actually just got a new kit from them and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. It's their waxing crescent moon ritual kit. And it's absolutely perfect for the new moon, but to be honest, you can use this kit at any moon phase, but this one was specially curated for like a new moon energy. Not to mention the waxing crescent is my favorite moon phase, so I was super drawn to this kit and I'm really excited to show you guys the unboxing of it because it's honestly so beautiful. So right when I opened this box, I couldn't believe how amazing it smelled. I was like, oh my gosh. Everything smells so good. There's so much like flowers in this, so I love it. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is this floral white sage smudge stick. This is honestly so beautiful. I love that there's like an aura crystal attached to it. Like this is almost too beautiful to burn, to be honest, but it's gorgeous. The next item that caught my eye was this beautiful sparkling crescent moon amethyst. I don't really have anything like this and I am so just like, oh my gosh, over this. It's so beautiful. I love the Palo Santo with the engraved crescent moon. Again, this like really like makes my heart just feel so good because I love crescent moons. So this whole theme is just so me. I wanted to mention though, if you guys didn't know, Mama Wunderbar does custom engravings on their Palo Santo, which I think is genius. It's so cool. It's such a nice little element to add to a gift. I recently gifted my cousin a crystal and I had a Palo Santo message engraved on the Palo Santo, and I thought it was so cute just to have a little personal touch. And it's very inexpensive and it comes in a really beautiful box. So if you want to add a little personal touch to a present, I really recommend doing their custom engravings on Palo Santo sticks. And then this last little bundle that I have is some beautiful lavender. It smells so good. Oh my gosh. This is great for like some new moon energy, kind of like some fresh flowers, or just having flowers present in your ritual, I think is really nice. So this is a really pretty touch. I really can't recommend Mama Wunderbar enough. I'm honestly obsessed with them. They do such a good job, and I actually have a discount code with them. If you didn't know, I'll have all of their information in my description box below, so definitely go check them out. So after I'm done cleansing and cleaning, I pretty much have a whatever night, just like in my apartment, and I go to bed. Like I'm like, okay, everything's prepped and ready. I'm ready to wake up the next day and feel really good. So on the day of the new moon, when I wake up in the morning, I'll make my coffee, and this is when I kind of relax and kind of dive into the astrology of the day. Most of the time I have a spirit daughter workbook that I read up on, hear about, what's going on for the day, what can I expect, what the significance of the new moon is. Other times I might watch some videos on YouTube with my favorite astrologers to kind of dive into the energy, maybe get some ideas for what I want to do for that day. And then depending on when, the new moon is exact, I kind of like to take note when the exact moment is when, you know, the moon is new, because it's only new for a moment. You know, it's only like a certain amount of time that the moon is actually new. So during that time is when I like to pick oracle cards. I don't do this every single time. If it's during like a reasonable hour, you know, I try to do it at the exact moment, but most of the time I do it in the morning time. I kind of like to just pick a couple cards and see, you know, what my spirit guides want me to know with like a fun little message with my oracle cards. So, you know, depending on the day of the week when it is the new moon and the time, you know, it really depends on what day it is, but I'll go ahead and grab some crystals that I want to work with for the rest of the day and also accompany me in my new moon rituals. So my go-to on a new moon is working with black moonstone. So I'll definitely grab that and have it with me for the rest of the day. If I'm like working or if I'm relaxing, whatever I'm doing, I have my black moonstone with me. And then if I feel called to work with any other crystals, I might pair my black moonstone with another crystal. New moons are a great time to cleanse your crystals as well. So if you feel like you kind of want to revamp maybe your intention to your crystals, you know, maybe you want to think of new intentions. This is a wonderful day to do that, to cleanse your stones and then set some new intentions if you feel called to. So about midday during a new moon is when I like to do a meditation. And my new moon meditations I take very seriously because I listen to a certain mantra while I'm meditating. I discovered a Buddhist mantra about 4 months ago that I completely fell in love with. I love the meaning behind it and really the significance of working with it on a new moon. It just heightens, you know, the mantra. I'm gonna share with you guys what that mantra is. I just have this special feeling in my heart when I say it, and it is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. This mantra is all about kind of like manifestation. It's kind of talking about like the cycle of karma and like, you know, the divineness of everything. So I think this is a really powerful mantra to listen to while you're meditating. And luckily for me, my favorite kind of meditation music on YouTube, Meditative Mind, they have a whole like song of just this mantra playing on and on and on. So I listen to this mantra while I meditate, and I literally just think about what I want to manifest during that meditation. So after my meditation is when it's kind of like the evening time. So it's kind of like me diving into my nighttime new moon rituals. So, you know, depending on the new moon or the cosmic season, if I really feel like there is a huge significance with the new moon, like it's a special one, I might take an opportunity to do a candle intention. I'll incorporate candles with my, you know, nighttime rituals. If I want to work with a specific color of a candle, or if I just want to have, you know, like a basic white candle, I can kind of set any intention or, you know, have it going while I do the rest of my rituals. And what usually follows after that is I will burn some bay leaves. I found out about a bay leaf ritual only a few months ago actually, and I've been experimenting with this with the last, I think, 3 or 4 new moons. And I've honestly had really wonderful results. I even had my boyfriend try it out, and some of his bay leaves, you know, came true. So I don't know what it is about, you know, this bay leaf ritual, but it seems to work, to be honest. When I did my research, kind of diving into like what the significance of bay leaves are, you know, there's a lot of correlation with money. So if you want to manifest money fast or just have some sort of manifestation happen fast, working with bay leaves, I feel like really works. Another really big thing that I like to do in my nighttime rituals is taking some time to do some scripting. I have my very own, you know, specific journal that I script in. I kind of do a few, well, like 2 rituals that involve kind of like journaling and like putting pen to paper and doing something. And this scripting one I think is really important to do on the new moon, you know. I really just take myself into, you know, what I'm trying to accomplish. I put myself in that future state and I just write it down. You know, I feel those emotions. I feel what's going on in that present moment, and I just write it down. And then one of the last things that I like to do for my new moon rituals in the evening is I like to write up a 1-page kind of like journal entry of, the day. So like if anything significant happened that day, or if I want to document what oracle cards I pulled that day and I kind of have a correlation of how it relates to my life, I'll write it down in that journal. And then I'll also have a section where I write down manifestations and I'll write down my intentions. And I leave this a little open-ended, and I'll get to why in a minute. But I really feel like if you're trying to manifest with the moon, if this is something new for you, I started doing this 1-page journal entry, I want to say about a year ago. And the best part about doing this is being able to go back and see where you were, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and to really see, did those things manifest? Did they shift? Did I change? Like, what happened? It's a really good tool to help you kind of like reflect on how far you've come. All right, so now I'm going to talk about my favorite element of the new moon, and that is actually the post-new moon. So my favorite moon phase is the waxing crescent phase, and, after the new moon, sometimes it's within 24 hours, I think, or maybe 2 days after the new moon, you go, like when I go outside and I see that thin little slice of a crescent moon, when I see that, like something inside of me just like melts. There's just something about seeing that crescent moon that just makes me like want to cry almost. Like I get so happy when I see it. And, what I do when I see that little thin crescent is I'll just take time to just stare at it, and I'll kind of do a little visualization with the moon. I like to do this on the full moon. Like I literally just stare at the moon and I just like meditate with it. So when I finally get to see that little crescent on the new moon, I just like take some time to like take a couple deep breaths, give gratitude, and just like imagine myself becoming the person I want to be. Another fun thing I like to do during the waxing crescent is I'll kind of revisit those intentions that I started to write down on the new moon. Because the waxing crescent is like a time to really think about what it is, how to accomplish those goals, writing down your intentions. That's kind of like the main element of a waxing crescent, is setting intentions. And sometimes, that new moon, like when we go to bed that night and then the next day we wake up, we might have new downloads, we might have new ideas that accumulated within those 24 hours, which then you can add them into that 1-page journal entry. You can be like, oh, I had an idea to set this intention. You kind of have this creativeness happening during that post-crescent, or during that post-new moon, during the crescent phase. So I definitely recommend taking, the next 2 days to be mindful of new intentions you want to put into your journal work. Alrighty guys, so that is it for today's video. Those are my new moon rituals. I hope you got a kick out of hearing them. I honestly love doing these rituals. If you want to try any of them out, I totally recommend doing them. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have any new moon rituals that you would love to share with me, I'd love to hear in the comments. If you are new here, I would love it if you subscribed. Thank you for hanging out, and I will see you in my next one.